Hello again and welcome to this training. In this training we will see how we can edit the content of the start page in different multi-sites. So as you can see here I have two websites, one English and another Swedish, and in the English website I have one United States and one United Kingdom store view. And then I have two more store views in my Swedish website. And as we can see now, I have just a slideshow, a couple of blogs and a couple of products. And if I change from the US to the UK store, we see that we have the same content. And if I go to the Swedish store views as well, we will see that we have the same content again. And here we have the second store view, and again the same content. So let's go back to the English store and let's see what's happening. So currently I have only made changes to my all store views, and since United States is my default store view, I will have the same content on all of the other store views because they all inherit my changes from United States. But this is only happening until the point that I make a specific change in one of the other sub store views. So if I now select my default category and I choose my United Kingdom store view and I click OK, and then I will now click Edit and Preview. We will see now that I'm editing the UK store and the store ID for this is 2. You don't really have to think about the store ID, but we can now see that if I edit the structure here, and in this example I'm just going to change place between the slideshow and the products, just to have a clear visual change. So now I'm going to publish my UK changes, and if I now go back to the US store, we of course see that it's being unchanged. But if I go to the UK store, the one that we were just editing, we see now that we have the products above the slideshow. Alright, so what about my two other Swedish store views? Well, since I have not made any changes yet to these two store views, they are still inheriting my changes from my United States. So again, since I have only made changes to United Kingdom and not done any changes to Sweden, the Sweden store views are still inheriting the changes from United States. Okay, so let's now switch to Sweden, and I will choose the business to consumer store. So I'm choosing this one. If I now do edit and preview, we see now that I'm editing another store, and I will here simply change. I'm actually not going to change the structure. I'm just going to make a couple of translations. So I'm going to change deals to Kampagner, and I'm going to change blazers to kostymer, and för henne, and pants will be translated to byxor. Alright, so if I now save the content for these blogs and I publish this, let's see what we have in the Swedish store view. So again, I'm in my business to consumers Swedish store view, and we see that we have successfully translated these labels. If I now change to my business to business store view, we see here that I also have the changes done here. And this is because now that we have done changes to this Sweden business to consumer store view, the business to business store view, the last one, is also inheriting from this one now. And we're no longer inheriting from the United States. So if I go now back to United States, we see that we have our English titles and we have still the slideshow above the products. If I change to UK, we see that we have the products above the slideshow. And if I change to my Swedish business to consumer store view, we see that I have my translations here. And if I change now to business, we see that we are inheriting the previous store view for Sweden. So now I want to make a small change in this business to business store view. So I'm going to change to this last store view, and I'm going to click edit and preview. So now we see that we're editing this last store view, and I'm going to edit the structure, and I'm going to switch places between two blocks, and I'm going to move up the products below the slideshow. So now if I publish this, we see now that we have successfully made our changes here. But if I now change back to my Swedish business to consumer store view, we see that we have not inherited any changes from the business to business store. So a quick recap. When we start our new project and we have a couple of different store views, if we are making changes in all store views, we will have the same structure, the same content on all of our store views. But if I go to, for example, United Kingdom and I make a modification to the structure there, then that page, that store will not longer inherit the changes from the default store view, which in this case is United States. The same goes for the two Sweden store views. Since I have, in the beginning of my project, since I have not done any changes to these two store views, they will also inherit the changes from United States. But if I go and I start to make a small modification to the structure of Sweden business to consumer, then this one will no longer inherit United States, and Sweden business to consumer, since it belongs to the same website as the business to consumer store view does, this one will then inherit the changes from this one, until the point that I make a change in my business to business store view, and then all of the different store views will have no connection between them or at all. So that is that for this training, and the learning from this is that if you want to make a change to a store view, simply select the category that you want to change, in this case the start page, and then simply change the store view from the store view drop down and click edit and preview, and then continue as usual. Thank you for watching and see you soon again. Bye bye.